All right, have not fans. At this moment, I do believe this should be my last video on my to-do list. I've already recorded 6 before this one, and this is the last video in the topic about Charles and Landon. I did a video a couple of weeks ago about is Charles in the closet, and this one is pretty much a request based off the preview from the episode from the 70s coming on this upcoming Tuesday. In the actual preview, we have a brief scene where it's Charles and Landon in one of the hotel rooms, probably either coming from or getting ready to go to a meeting or some sort of appearance. And Charles says, "Why didn't you tell me you were gay? Are you attracted to me, sir? Are you?" And I had to do some digging through season 4 because there was that one scene where everybody has been talking about. Remember that one time Charles acted like he knew that Landon wasn't into women, but then all of a sudden, when that one person from his campaign team told him that there are whispers amongst the campaign team about Landon and Charles, being more than friends because, all the endless nights where those two are hanging out in his hotel room for, long hours of the night and whatnot, and Landon just paying extra attention to Charles and stuff like that. And Charles is like, "What? He's not gay. I'm pretty sure if he was gay I would know." And he's pretty much oblivious to the fact that Landon is into him. But then at least him trying to go down on Charles and Charles kicking his ass out of the room. So I went back through season 4 through several episodes, actually from episode 16 to episode 20, Railroad, Elevator 11, and then I skipped ahead to episode 20, pretty much looking at all the scenes between Charles and Landon, from the scene where Landon walked into the bedroom or hotel room and saw Candace there, all the way to the episode 20 called The Enemy Called Trust. Landon asked why Candace is so special. And then Charles scoffs at him going, "Right. Women are not your thing, right?" "No, they're not. That's your answer." So pretty much this was after Landon had called the cops on Candace, and that's how Candace got arrested. Remember when she got arrested from robbing all these different men at the hotel? That's pretty much how it happened. Now, when it comes down to this particular situation, Landon asks again, why is Candace so special? Because this was after, Charles revealed who he really was to Candace in terms of, "I knew you were trying to play me from the very beginning, but I'm the one holding all the power." And Landon sees the two together, pretty much knows that Candace is bad news, not just from his own experience, but also because you are about to win the presidency if everything works out well, but you're hanging out with this woman who has a checkered past, is on a escort website, is wanted for questioning for a murder, and you want to make her first lady. Yeah, something ain't right here. So really, when he says, "Right, women are not your thing, right?" pretty much Charles is scoffing at the fact that Landon can't see why Charles is into Candace. So when he says, "Right, because women are not your thing," that could be taken one of two ways. The one way you could take it is, oh, Charles gets the hint that Landon isn't into women, hence why he's not like, "Oh man, boy, look at Candace over here. She'll make a great first lady. I can tell you can get some with her every night." As opposed to, because if you look at various scenes between the two, when Landon is pretty much, I guess the $50 word would be dumbfounded or flabbergasted every time he asks why Charles is into somebody like Candace, and he just can't believe it. You could also take it some way like, him just being baffled that Charles is into somebody like Candace could just show that he's not into women, especially with the fact that Landon is said to be somebody who's able to look at people and read them well. But, he even admitted back in season 3 that Candace is better than him at it, and he gets paid to do it for a living. So, I mean, at that moment, Charles is showing his Chucky side in terms of, telling Landon, like, "Would it surprise you that I pretty much was a criminal from the streets just like Candace was?" It's like, "Yeah, it would surprise me. Then that'll be a fatal mistake on your part." Pretty much showing Landon that Charles is from the street. And, I mean, we got an ounce of that when he knocked his ass out in the episode Power Struggle. But that leads to the next episode. "Why didn't you tell me you were gay? Are you attracted to me? Are you?" now people are wondering, why would Charles ask that question? It's kind of one of those things where it's a double talk, where does that mean that Charles is curious and maybe interested in Landon? Or is it just one of those things where, dude, for real, like we were hanging out all this time, and were you just being nice to me because you were gay? Well, you're gay and you like me, or were you just nice to me because you were my friend? Because Charles has said a few times already that, people don't even look at him the same way. His own mother, his friends from the army and whatnot. So to have somebody like Landon on his team who, aside from being like a great PR expert and whatnot and keeps him on schedule, those two hung out in like a friendly setting, getting drunk together, just, talking about the campaign and whatnot. Pretty much Landon, in a way, was Charles's escape from the life that he lives now. Kind of like how Candace is a reminder of the life he used to live, hence why he's attracted to her. But if anything, Landon was kind of like that buddy, on the team. But then finding out that, Landon tried to take advantage of that friendship by trying to go down on him leads to him being pissed off. So if anything, yeah, I would be like, if I were in Landon's position in next episode, when, are you attracted to me, sir? Are you? I would be afraid to answer the question because of the fact that, based off the last episode, after that whole, this is an olive branch, after I knocked your ass out, it felt like Charles was pretty much like, hey, what happened last night? That happened. I warned you what would happen if you do anything like that again. So the subject is completely erased. But then for that person to then bring up the subject again by asking, why didn't you tell me you were gay and are you attracted to me? I wouldn't even know how to answer that question in fear of getting knocked the hell out again. So I don't know if it's going to be a situation where, oh my God, Charles is in the closet and he's attracted to Landon. If in my opinion, I think it's more along the lines of, look, were you acting friendly towards me and being like a buddy again amongst all these fake people because, we were cool, we were friends, or were you only acting that way because you're gay and you were attracted to me? I think that would be more interesting than Charles being like, oh, I'm attracted to you too. That's just my opinion. It's not about, Jeremy, you're sounding like Veronica. You just don't want two gay men on screen. Nah, it's not really that. I'm just talking about Charles's character because, to be honest, I don't think he's gay. But on top of that, I just feel like it would be an interesting dynamic if there is an understanding between Landon and Charles, as opposed to one beating the hell out of the other because the other one tried to perform a sexual act on an unwilling participant. So pretty much it's like the flip side of the Jeffrey going after the straight man Wyatt, Jeffrey being Wyatt's, counselor as he goes to the drug rehab facility and pretty much cheering Wyatt on. But then when Laura came into the picture, that's when Jeffrey started, screwing around with things, trying to sabotage the relationship. Pretty much, Candace is the Laura of the Landon Charles, dynamic. Kind of like how Laura, if you don't remember her, go back to season 1, Wyatt's old girlfriend from high school, pretty much was the one who was getting in Jeffrey's way because he felt like, oh, we're close, and when he gets out of rehab, we'll live together in an apartment. And isn't that a nod to what Justin has now? I got a place for the two of us. Yeah, Justin literally is season 1 Jeffrey, but dialed up to 15. So really, when it comes down to it, just like how Jeffrey went off on Wyatt, like, look, I love you, but you're not going to treat me like dirt because I'm gay. And I like that dynamic because those two became more friendly towards each other. But at this point, Jeffrey has definitely had enough of Wyatt's crap, hence why he called, to have him in the psych ward. So with Landon and Charles, I don't think there needs to be any more violence between the two. Like Landon, look, he's straight, back off. Charles, don't knock the hell out of him again. But at the same time, I don't want that dynamic between the two to end. Like, I actually like the Landon and Charles scenes when it's not about Landon pining after a straight man, because I actually like to have somebody bring just somebody who humanizes Charles, kind of like, when those two were getting drunk and he was talking about his past a couple episodes ago. So that's my opinion there. Not every character who is being, chased after by somebody who's gay needs to turn out to be gay in the long run. So it's like, oh yeah, so now the person who was running after a straight person finds out they're gay and they could be gay together. That's not, I prefer a good story than a forced romance. That's how I feel about it. Just my 2 cents. Like, to be honest, I wouldn't have mind seeing Landon and Jeffrey together back in season 2, but that's just my opinion with that. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Again, I don't think Charles is gay. I'm very interested to see how Landon's going to react when he's asked the question, why didn't you tell me you were gay and are you attracted to me? Because again, Charles was the one that said this pretty much something we're not going to speak about again. So for him to bring it up again, I will be questioning what to say and what to do to avoid being knocked in the floor again. So that's my thought process on that. And also, what did you interpret from that line from the episode The Enemy Called Trust when Charles goes, "Ride, women are not your thing"? Does that mean that he knew, or was there a hint that Landon wasn't into women, hence why he couldn't see why Charles was into Candace? Or was it just something like, okay, you are like a PR specialist, you're able to read people, but you're not so good at reading women as you are with men? Yeah, double talk. So thanks so much for tuning in. Hopefully this ignites a good conversation in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And thankfully, I finished recording so I can sit back, go ahead and edit everything. And just a quick shout out to the students at Sandusky Middle School who I went to see yesterday at the career fair. If you're watching this video and it's like, Jeremy, you upload like a bunch of videos, when are you going to get the shout outs? I do have a video coming up in the next week. I don't know if I can have it done by this weekend, but we'll wait and see. But I'll just do a video recapping my experience there. A bunch of students wrote down their, YouTube channels and social media, and I said I will give them shout outs when I actually do the video. So that is coming in a few days. Just keep that in mind. So with that being said, hit that subscribe button, share the channel around with your friends. Let's go ahead and hit that 100,000 subscriber mark so I can get that silver play button award. You know, wear that around my neck like some bling. No, I'm just kidding. I'll get it framed and proudly have it in the background of all of my videos and live streams. That's for sure. So once again, get the discussion started. And like I said, I had like 6 other videos I recorded before this one. I don't know the exact order I'll post them on the channel, but you know me, I'm going to sit back, edit, throw them all on the channel at once. That way everybody has a great playlist of videos to look at over the weekend. And that's it. I'll talk to you later. Congratulations on making it to the end of this video. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit that thumbs up button as well as leaving your thoughts in the comment section below so we can keep the conversation going. On the left hand side of the screen, you should see a picture of Jeffrey Harrington. You can click on him in order to subscribe, but also hit the bell notification icon. That way you don't miss out on any new content. Also, you should see some videos appearing on the screen as well that I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy if you enjoyed the one you just saw. But also, be sure to follow me on social media such as Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Links to all my social media will be in the description below. And in order to help this channel hit 100,000 subscribers, I'm going to need your help. So make sure to share this video as well as the channel around with all of your friends on your own social media. But once again, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you all in the next video.